Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Major General Raymond F. Rees, the Adjutant General for Oregon.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Governor Kulongoski, Attorney General Rosenblum, Senator Winters, Representative Parrish, Representative McLean, General Hokanson, guests, family, and friends, General Grass and Pat, and especially to the soldiers and airmen of the Oregon National Guard. Good afternoon, and thank you all for being here. A special thanks particularly to Governor Kulongoski for his presence here today. Your leadership and support of the Oregon Guard is without peer. General Grass, you and Pat, we are honored that you would travel to Oregon with your busy schedule as a member of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Thank you for visiting Oregon and our superb Oregon National Guard soldiers and airmen. Thank you to the Adjutants General that are present, Major General Ashenhurst, General Saylor, General Doherty, General Lowenberg, General Burks, General Radizek, General Burnett, General LaFrenz. Mary Lynn, my wife for 36 years, thank you for your love and support for your dedicated support and concern for the men and women of the Oregon Guard and their families. I see my classmates here from West Point. We entered the academy 51 years ago, just yesterday. I see my fellow cavalry troopers from Vietnam, Delta 217 Cav. I see fellow guardsmen with whom I served in the 116th Cavalry, compatriots from the National Guard Bureau and the U.S. Northern Command. I am proud to have served with them all, and I thank them for their service to the nation, their friendship, and their leadership. But I want to spend these few moments here not reflecting on the past. I want to bring to your attention the soldiers and airmen before you and the future that they represent. I've had the rare privilege to serve as the Adjutant General for 17 years, and as was pointed out by the Governor, through the Cold War, Desert Storm, and the global war on terror. In the first instance, we were a deterrent, prepared to mobilize in the event of war with the Soviet Union. We were never called. In the second, we were fighting for relevancy, and we sent small units to Bosnia, to Turkey, to Saudi Arabia, and to the Sinai. Now the third time, the global war on terror. Every unit in the Oregon National Guard is deployed to Iraq or Afghanistan at least twice, and we are continually being called. Lieutenant General Herb Temple, a former chief of the National Guard Bureau in the mid-'80s, stood before the leadership of the National Guard in 2011 and thanked them all for making his impossible dream come true. He was referring to the magnificent performance of the National Guard in the global war on terror and the impossible dream that he had during the Cold War that the Guard would be ready and respond when the nation needed them. When Governor Kulongoski gave me the opportunity to return in July 2005, the transformation was readily apparent. I described it then, and I continue to describe it as competence, confidence, courage, and commitment. The soldiers and airmen before you today represent 8,500 Oregon Guardsmen and women. It gives me immense satisfaction to have witnessed and been a participant in their evolution, or should I say, revolution of the National Guard. They know their job. They are competent. They are confident in themselves and each other. They have the courage to take on their state's and nation's missions, and they are committed to accomplishing that mission, showing up each and every day, whenever and wherever they are called. These aren't parade ground troops. This isn't the ceremonial palace guard. As John Bruning in his book, The Devil's Sandbox, said, men and women like these are barely noticed back home. They are clerks and delivery men, bricklayers and landscapers who live anonymously among us. They have one thing in common. Underneath their name tags beats a hero's heart. And I say it again, underneath their name tag beats a hero's heart. Because of that hero's heart, I'm honored to say that my 17 years spent leading these Guardsmen and women could not have been more fulfilling and more rewarding. Soldiers and airmen of the Oregon Guard, your future and that of the Oregon Guard could not be more bright. I look forward to hearing of your continued success. Thank you all for honoring me and Mary Lynn today. It took nearly 40 years before my fellow Vietnam